Look at this grid of ones and zeros. Somewhere inside it is the largest square made entirely of ones. Can you spot it? There it is, a 2 by 2 block. Area 4. In the next few minutes, you will learn the elegant trick that finds this instantly, in any grid, no matter how big. This is Maximal Square, the first episode in our matrix dynamic programming series. Here is the puzzle. You're given a binary matrix, just zeros and ones. Your job, find the largest square made entirely of ones and return its area, not its side length, its area. In this 4 by 5 grid, the largest all one square is 2 by 2. 2 times 2 is 4. That's the answer we're after. To solve this with dynamic programming, we need to ask the right question at every cell. Define dp of ij as the side length of the largest all one square whose bottom right corner sits exactly at cell ij. Once we know every one of these values, the answer to the whole problem is simply the largest dp value squared. So how do we actually compute dp at a cell? First, the easy case. If the matrix has a 0 here, no square can possibly end at this cell. dp is 0. But if the matrix has a 1 here, this is where the magic happens. A square of side S ending at this cell needs a square of side S minus 1 ending at the cell above, at the cell to the left, and diagonally up left. All three must support it. Which means the size we can reach here is bottlenecked by the smallest of those three neighbors, plus 1 for the current cell. One neighbor being small caps everything, even if the other two are huge. The weakest link decides. And for the very first row or first column, there are no three neighbors to check. A lone one is simply a 1 by 1 square. Let's tabulate this, row by row, column by column. For every cell holding a 1, we look up, left and diagonally up left, take the minimum and add 1. Track the best value seen anywhere in the grid, and at the end square it. That's the whole algorithm. Notice something. To compute row I, we only ever need row I minus 1, plus the current row's left neighbor. That means the full two-dimensional table is overkill. Two one-dimensional rows are enough, as long as you cache the diagonal value before you overwrite it. Time complexity, big O of m times n, we touch every cell exactly once. Space, big O of n, after the optimization, just enough for a single row. 3 mistakes trip people up here. First, taking the minimum of only 2 neighbors, forgetting the diagonal. All 3 matter. The diagonal is what limits how the inner square can fill in. Second, returning the side length as your final answer instead of squaring it. The problem asks for area. Third, mixing up character 1s and integer 1s, comparing against the character 1 if your input is characters versus the integer 1 if it's numeric. Here is the one idea to remember. A square ending at a cell is only as strong as the weakest of its 3 predecessors. 1 plus the minimum of up, left, and diagonal. That single recurrence is the engine behind this entire problem, and it's about to power the next one too. The exact same table can answer a completely different question. Not, what's the largest square, but how many all one squares exist in this grid in total. That's count square submatrices, next episode. Before you go, 3 things to try. Warm up. Fill the dp table for a small grid by hand. Core. Modify the algorithm to also return the position of the maximal square. Stretch. Find the largest square that allows at most 1 0 inside it. A relaxed version of the same idea. That's Maximal Square. 3 neighbors, 1 minimum, 1 elegant recurrence. See you in the next one.